Hello and welcome to my channel in season. So our goal is, or my goal for you, is to learn how to cook in season with ingredients that maybe you can locally find, maybe even supporting local farms, which is a way to be healthier, and also to have organic. I try to eat organic as much as possible. It's not easy on a budget, as I'm sure you know. Nowadays, there's a lot of things that are not easy to do because there's just money's tight. So I have a family of four, 2 kids and my husband, and so that's what I tried to do. And I'm hoping that you could come along on this journey with me and learn. We can both learn and do different cooking things, maybe do some budgeting to learn how to budget better and learn how to eat better. It's not always going to be strictly organic. I have a schedule, as I'm sure you do. You're working, you're a student, you're a working mom, or even a stay-at-home mom that can be very, very busy. So these are the ingredients I'll be working with today, including my coffee because I'm tired and I need it. I have onions and carrots and celery, garlic, the chuck roast, parsley, herbs, some tomato paste, Worcestershire sauce, organic chicken stock because I don't have beef stock, but that's okay. Some tomato sauce and olive oil. I have a pot roast for today, and it's quite big. I didn't realize how big it was, but okay. And we're going to season it generously. I do have my little recipe card. This is my recipe that I've been doing for years, and we're going to season it. Yes, I know it seems like a lot of salt, but it really isn't. It has to be seasoned well. And then salt and pepper. I try to use pink salt, and the best pepper you can get. Again, you just do the best you can. You can't always afford to buy the best ingredients. It's just the way it is, but you do the best you can. And so season the whole thing. I'm going to do this in a Dutch oven. It's going to have carrots and potatoes and herbs, seasoning, onions, although I'm not putting the potatoes in first because they'll get mushy. But I think that's well seasoned. So I'm going to do this in a Dutch oven pot. I was supposed to do this last night, meaning seasoning it and putting it away overnight for the most flavorful, but it was too busy yesterday and tired, and so I didn't get to it. So we can work with this though. So again, small kitchen. I'm always trying to find ways to where to put everything. So I'm going to put it on the other side. Also, I'm working with my coffee because it was early in the morning. This is going to take about 8 hours, and I need to get it in the oven as quickly as possible. But I haven't had anything to eat, and I'm need my coffee. So I do go with Costco, and I hope that they start making more, doing more organic things. I don't know if you find that in your, wherever you all live, if you find that it's not easy to find organics at Costco. I really like Costco. I like what they have and being able to buy in bulk for the family, but I want more organics. But I did find this organic olive oil, extra virgin. It says it's from Italy. Again, you have to really read labels to find out where they're actually from. So I'm letting this oil heat up, before I can sear the meat. You want to do a good searing because it will add flavor before I do the other ingredients. Now, this is hot, and that's what you want. You want it hot so you can sear it. So I'm just going to put it in, and this is a very big piece of meat. I didn't realize how big it was. So that's been about 5 minutes, and I like to put it on this side too. On every side that I will stand to get that nice golden flavor. Now, so here we go. Just go to take it out. Just be careful in this part. It's nice and seared. Make sure you don't burn yourself. I put an apron on to make sure that I don't get grease on myself, which I do. So now I turned it off because I need to cut up the other things like the onions and the other things that are going to this pot, and I don't want to burn. And then I'm going to deglaze it too, and I'll show you. That sounds very fancy, but it's not. But I'll show you that. So as I said before, I have a small kitchen, so I don't have a lot of counter space. So this is a cutting board that I put on my drawer, and it works pretty well. So you can work it. Whatever type of kitchen you have, you can do it. So I'm going to cut up the onions. I'm going to do 2 onions. I don't need to mince them or make them small like I would for spaghetti sauce, but I just want to have them in the as a veggie to have as you're eating. That makes sense. I have not had any breakfast, so just coffee. Which, let me go find it. Oh, here it is. So I can have my coffee as I'm speaking with you. So as I said, you can learn how to do this if you're new to cooking. Doesn't matter how old or young you are, and if you've never cooked before or found it intimidating, you can do it. Just follow a recipe to the T, and you'll learn and get comfortable with it. That's what I did. So I have garlic. I love garlic. It's so good for you. It's quite healthy for you. So are onions, especially if you're not feeling well. Onions and garlic and anything you can have with it are very good for you. So as I said, my peoples are home today, so you may hear my family walking around or my kids saying mommy, mommy, mommy. Just a very sweet thing to hear. Okay, so I'm going to heat this up again or put it back on my stovetop. Put a little more olive oil. Just heat it up a bit more, and then I'll start browning these. Just make sure you lower the stove a bit to like medium. You don't want to burn them. You want them to release their juices and the oils, because that's what makes for a good foundation for the flavors that you're going to make here. So as you can see, it's browning nicely. So I'm going to make a little space here in the middle for the garlic. I love these flavors, but because it's morning, it's in the morning, I would rather smell bacon, but I have to You have to, it takes time to cook something like this. But again, what's nice about it is that if you do it early enough, as I'm doing it now, you come home to it, it's done. And I would suggest a crock pot for most of you who want to not have to do this in the morning. Again, if you're a student, if you're going off to work, you marinated the night before, you put it in a crock pot, and then you come home to a nice meal. So I'm just going to let that also gently do its thing. And while that's cooking, I'm going to cut up the carrots, do the celery, and yeah, and prep it to go into the oven. So I'm going to do the carrots now. I just washed them. And again, small kitchen and my coffee. Trying to find what I need and make room so I can work. But that just shows you that you can do it in whatever kitchen you have. A small apartment, a small kitchen of any kind. You can do it. Now, what I hope to do in this channel is to show you how to eat well, source good materials, good ingredients, and really enjoy cooking. And do some budgeting. Yeah, it's going everywhere. Carrots are flying. Here we go. I gotta hurry up. So I think we're going to have some breakfast, but I need to put this in the oven. Everybody's hungry. I don't get that, right? You feed them in the evening, and then why eat again? So just quickly, don't cut yourself. So this is looking good. I do have a bin on the floor. I'm not throwing it on the floor, though I've done that too. That's okay. All right, so these are going to be chunky carrots because you want to have something chunky to eat in with your pot roast. And I'm going to have also potatoes in here. And I think I need more carrots. Oopsie, because my husband loves carrots. He comes by and he'll steal one and put salt on them. And I'll turn around and it's like, where did my carrots go? So I'm just getting more carrots on the other side where I have them. So the celery. All of this adds layers of flavor to your dish. I took the pot off of the stovetop, the burner, because it was going too fast. I don't want to burn the onions or the garlic, because I'm going to put this in there too to cook and marry all the flavors together. So I'm going to bring the pot back onto the stovetop and cut this up. And then just put everything in. What I like to do with this, is and I'll show you. Give me a moment. Is I like to put enough items in here where the meat can go on top, and the meat juices go into the items that you put into the pot roast to eat. It's quite nice to do that. Now again, you want to salt and pepper this I use pink salt. This is from Costco too. So is this, Kirkland. I do buy at Costco. Just give it a moment to cook a bit. So I'm letting this cook together. You know what I should have done is made a little rub for it, which I still might do. It's just, again, I'm trying to get this in the oven as quickly as possible, but I may do that so you can see that. That would be the really good way of doing it the night before, is that you make this little rub and you let it sit in that overnight, and then in the morning you put it in again. You could do it in a Dutch oven. I'm doing it in a Dutch oven, or in the oven. So I'm going to do it in the Dutch oven and put it in with the Dutch oven into the oven. Or you could do it in a crock pot, as I said. So it's not, you have options of what to use. I'm trying to get this garlic open. So I may do that, or I may just put it, I'll do another pot roast at a later time, and I will show you what I mean when I say you could do the marinade the night before. My fresh herbs, which I do not remember which ones I used. I haven't made this in a while, but it's always a hit. Aha, rosemary and thyme. Well, thankfully I did buy them, so that's good. So I'm just going to, they're very flavorful. So I just put them right in the pot. Actually, before I do that, let me get deglazing. So I have a little wine, that red wine. I'm just going to deglaze the bottom of the pan. You could use broth, chicken broth. If you don't want to use wine, that's fine. The alcohol does burn off, so it's fine. But if you don't, if it's not something you buy, you can use chicken broth. You can use beef broth. Even water, a little water would be just fine. This is going to be good. Tonight, not right now. Right now I want eggs and bacon. Okay, so it deglazed very nicely, and I didn't show you that. Oh, you can see it. Just deglazes. Let me show you quickly. Look. See? Very deglazed. Okay, put you back there. All right, so the herbs. This is rosemary. It smells so good. So I put 3 of these little sprigs in the pot. Put some thyme in. That's enough. Again, salt and pepper. I know it seems like a lot, but it's not. I'm not going to put the potatoes in yet. It has to be 2 hours, about 2 hours, because if not, they're just going to become mushy. You might as well make mashed potatoes, and I don't have the time to make mashed potatoes. So I'm just going to put in about 2 hours. You go put the potatoes in, and then another 2 hours, and then you're done. So I'm going to put some parsley in. That's it. Just whole. Again, it just adds to the bottom flavor. Now, I only have chicken organic. I do try and buy organic, as I've said. So I just have chicken broth here. That's all I have. I don't have the beef, but I'm going to put the temperature up to high. Now I'll put the recipe down in the comments section if you're interested in this recipe. And if you have other recipe ideas, or let's say something you want to see, let me know. And I will really attempt to make it. Again, I've only been cooking for about 10 years, not that long. So I do use some tomato sauce on the bottom, just a little bit. It's to make the sauce that you want to have, the gravy that you want to put over the pot roast. So you want to have some liquid, and it's going to be in there for a while. So you want to have some liquid. You don't want it to dry out. So what else? Oh, a little Worcestershire, just a little bit, because I'm not sure what this stuff is made. I did say mostly organic. Again, you don't have to. It's just a few drops. You don't have to use this if you don't feel comfortable using it. It'll be just fine with all the flavors we put into it. But I like to layer my flavors in the dish because I think you'll find that it'll be yummy. All right, so just a little bit of this tomato sauce, not too much, about half the can. Again, I bring it up to temperature. Very important to always bring it up to temperature because each ingredient that you put in, it lowers the temperature. So you want to do that. Oh, it looks really good. And I will show you a picture of it, although you can see it, right? Look. Nice. All right, so I did put my oven on. It's preheated to 300. I just got to make sure that I have all the ingredients and I've done everything that I need to for this. Let's see here, onions and broth and wine and garlic and rosemary. Oh, a bay leaf. Yeah, why not? We'll do a bay leaf. Okay. And yes, I do buy organic. Boy, this stuff is expensive though. You really have to budget for it. Oh, I do a little bit each time. Every time I go, I might buy something, especially the spices are very expensive. I'll buy something like one spice, one thing to add to the pantry. But that's all you can do. And listen, if you can't afford it, I understand. It's okay. You do the best you can with what you have. Okay, so here we go. Back in there. And I'm excited because I'm almost done. It did say for me to put a little bit of paste in it. And that's tomato paste. So I do have tomato paste on hand because I do make my homemade spaghetti sauce, which I can also show you if you're interested. But again, put in the comments what you would like me to cook. It'll be interesting to see what you would like me to cook and see if I can actually cook it. That'll be even better. All right, so here we go. We're going to put this back on top of all this yummy goodness. So doesn't that look delicious? Not done yet, but it does look good. So that's what it looks like. See, I put it on top. So, and once you put the lid on, it's going to all of that marinate together for all those hours. And again, in 2 hours, I'll come back and put the potatoes in. So I do put it high like this because once I put it on, I want to hold the heat. I have to get the lid because I don't. Here we go. So I'm about to put the potatoes in. So I realized when we came back, because we went out to have breakfast, and my hair, it's like, ooh. Very funny. But anyway, I know you'll understand. That I had it at 300, and it was a little too high, but it's fine. It was only about 200, only about 2 hours, I meant. So I lowered it to 200, and the oven temp. So I'm going to put the potatoes in, and I think I took out some chicken broth again, just in case it needs a little more liquid, because you don't want it to dry out. I'm using these, you probably have these. You see these Little Potato Company. Very sweet little potatoes. Sometimes I cut them up, but I'm not going to this time. I'm just going to put them in. And these come with flavor packets. This one comes with garlic and parsley, which is perfect because that's part of what I put into the roast anyway. So I'm just going to sprinkle it on, and a little salt and pepper again, just a little bit. So here we go. Now this is very heavy, and I wonder if you can see. Let me just come along with me. There you go. And we'll open this up and move this over to the stove top. And it is heavy. We'll get a peek in to see how it looks. And I'll bring you over to me on this side. There we go. There we are. And once I put the potatoes in, I'll show you what it looks like. But again, I'm going to keep it in for another, I don't want to serve right now. It's a little early, but I'll show you what it looks like right now. And then of course, I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. And I'm going to set a table, which I like to set a table for the family. It's nice to set up a nice table where you could sit at, and it almost feels like you're going out. And I'll show you that too. So here we go. We're going to put the potatoes in. Ooh, it looks really nice actually. So I'm going to put the potatoes in, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Now I will put the recipe, as I said before, in the comments section, but I do a lot of sort of ad lib when it comes to recipes. So I may do a little cornstarch to maybe thicken up the gravy a little later on, and I have to think about it to give you the whole recipe that I'm using. So I'm just sprinkling out the potatoes, making sure the potatoes do have some flavor. I didn't use the whole thing. I think it might be a little too much, but shake up a little bit of the broth. Now I must tell you that this pot is not sizzling as it was before, meaning it's not as boiling. So I may put up the temperature again, maybe to 300. Then I'll look at it again because I'm home now, and see if it needs to be lowered. But again, I'll have to do one in the crock pot for you, because if that's what you want to do, that's what I prefer. Again, I just didn't get to it last night to marinate it, and you really have to marinate it overnight if you go do it in the crock pot. I feel that you do. Just gives it more flavor. Give myself some room here by taking this out. Oh, and I didn't show you how it looked. I forgot. Come over here and I'll show you. So let me show you just quickly. Isn't that lovely? It's very nice, huh? And I did get my egg sandwich, as you'll see. It was very nice. So I'm going to put it back in the oven. I'll move you back. There you go. And I'm just going to put the oven up a bit, so to make sure that the potatoes do get cooked. So I think I'll just put it up to 300 again. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll check on this in a half hour, just to make sure you don't want to overcook it or dry out the meat. And then it can be lowered to about 200. And then when you're ready to have it, you can. I would suggest like a garlic bread. I make my own bread, but I haven't had a chance this week to do so. So I may go get some kind of garlic bread, and so the kids can have, and my husband can have that too. So we'll be back. Let's see here. A moment of truth. Oh my goodness me, that's very tender. Let's see if the potatoes are done too. Oh my goodness. Let's see. It's very warm. So good. Tender, flavorful. So and I've plated. Things are on the table, as you can see. And I think it looks pretty good. This is our meal. I hope you get to enjoy this recipe, and I'll put it down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this and would like to see more, please subscribe, please like, and share.